Every woman reaches that breaking point when playing small starts to feel unbearable, when the labels they gave you no longer fit, when the titles you once wore so proudly starts to feel heavy, when the things that once validated you no longer satisfy, and the ache to live again becomes stronger than the fear of what they will say. That is heaven stirring something deep within, a holy restlessness, a divine unease that whispers, "You were made for more than this." When the same routine starts to feel like chains, and God begins to whisper, "Daughter, it is time. Time to rise, time to step out, time to touch what once felt so out of reach." Hi, I'm Kemi Adefarakan, and today I want to talk about the courage to step out, using the story of the woman with the issue of blood in Mark 5:25 to 35. Today I'll be reading from verses 25 to 29 using the Amplified Version. And there was a woman who had a flow of blood for 12 years, and who had endured much suffering under the hands of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was no better, but instead grew worse. She had heard the report concerning Jesus, and she came up behind him in the throng and touched his garment. For she kept saying, "If I only touch his garment, I shall be restored to health." Verse 29. And immediately her flow of blood was dried up at the source, and suddenly she felt in her body that she was healed of her distressing ailment. For 12 long years, the woman with the issue of blood bled physically, yes, but also emotionally. 12 years of isolation, 12 years of watching life move on without her, 12 years of being told she didn't belong, 12 years of being told she was unworthy, unclean. Tradition told her to stay hidden. Culture told her to keep her distance. Religion told her not to come close, that she was unclean. But one day, just one day, something changed. She heard about Jesus, and something in her spirit shifted. Faith began to rise where disappointment used to live. Hearing awakened hope. Hope gave birth to courage, and courage moved her feet. For she said to herself, "If I only touch his garment, I will be made whole." And so she stepped out, trembling, but she stepped out of confinement, out of shame, out of the labels that had defined her. And in that single act of courage, that reach for his garment, her whole story changed. Maybe that is you. Maybe tradition has told you how to live, what to do, and how to be, who to be. Maybe expectations have boxed you in. You smile in public, but behind closed doors, you're bleeding quietly, endlessly. You're tired of pretending, tired of waiting, tired of watching life happen for everyone else. But today, heaven is whispering that same invitation. Step out. Step out of the fear that says, "What will they say?" Step out of the shame that says you failed too many times. Step out of tradition that says, "Stay where it is safe." Because safety can still be bondage when God is calling you to move. Sometimes courage doesn't look like shouting or running. Sometimes courage is just a whisper. The quiet decision to move forward when everything in you wants to stay hidden. To believe again, to try again, to reach again. So maybe today, just today, maybe just today, you don't need another plan or even permission because you already have it. Heaven has already said yes. The door is already open. The invitation has already been sent. You have permission to step out, to stop hiding behind what was and to start reaching for what is, to trade tradition for truth, to release fear and embrace faith, to reach not for what you've been told you can have, but for everything God has already said is yours. Because sometimes all it takes is one step of courage, one quiet act of faith, to rewrite the story you thought was over. And so today I pray that the Lord will give you the courage to step out of everything that has held you captive, to break free from the fear and the patterns that have enslaved you, and to reach out fully, boldly, desperately to Jesus. May you find healing in his presence, wholeness in his love, and strength to keep stepping forward, one act of faith at a time. I hope this has encouraged and blessed you. Please share it with someone who's been afraid to step out. And please don't forget to like and to subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and God bless.